Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be having a look at the high-grade Sword Impulse Gundam. This is the P-Bandai version. So for this one you get quite a few little extras with this. So you've got 2 flight stands, you have the sword striker pack, go into that a little bit more detail afterwards. You have your shield, you have your beam rifle, the adapter to turn the shield into its closed form. You get the beam sword blades here and the boomerang effects parts as well. Also with this one you get a new torso for the high grade Freedom Gundam, which you can then use along with the next sword accessory, which is this one here. So the stickers on this kit are atrocious. I much prefer a bit more coaxial on this one here. I think they probably could have done it with that, but a little bit of painting and that will solve that problem. So you can just separate this out. Just show you this bit now, and then you can just put the sword in there, and then again to give you the look from the anime. Okay then, so let's have a look at the articulation on this high grade. Okay, so starting off with the head, all the way down, all the way up, bit to the side, and all the way around. And on the shoulders, these shoulders are just on a ball joint, so that it doesn't go all the way around, but you can actually pull out the ball joint on this and it will give a little bit of forward motion and back motion. And then the little gimmick inside this one is mainly for lifting the arm up. So pull the arm up all the way, really high on this one. Then goes back down, and there is a rotation at the top of the arm all the way around, and then a 2-point up bend at the elbow, be about that. And then the hand itself is just on a little ball joint. With the waist you've got a small bit in and back, and then bit to the side, and that's just purely on the ball joint. So onto the front armour and skirts. So on these they come separated, but I've just separated them out at the middle, and then so it just gives you so you can just put them both up independently, and then just move that out of the way. And then here, not too much. This one, it has some swing. You can rotate it back and forward, but there isn't really much in there, so it does obstruct a little bit. On the back it's just solid, so there's no movement there at all. Okay. Now let's have a little look at the legs. So that is as far up as you're going to be able to get it, so just about parallel, and then the elbow and the knee even, like that. It has got a 2-point bend on it, but it does tend to get a little bit obstructed with the actual leg armour, so it isn't the best I've seen on this. So that's probably about as good as you're going to get. And then onto the split. So on here you have just this ankle armour. It just rotates up and down. It's just sort of like held on by a couple clips. It is actually just sort of sandwiched together, so it's one of those ones where if it does come off a bit too much, you just might want to glue the section in. Okay, onto the feet, the rest of the ankles. So you've got all the way back, forward, the toes don't go up, but you can fold them all the way down. So it's almost for like it's flight transformation, like you would see in the some of the other variants of this kit. And then on the back of the leg, you just have this little thruster that just moves up and down just ever so slightly. And here we have the Sword Striker unit. So, just like with most of the others with the seed line and so you have your little fighter here, that will just come out. There's no colour accuracy on this at all, so if you want it to look a bit more authentic, then you're going to have to start painting this one up. So there you have your beam boomerangs. There is a bit of rotation movement there on the hinge, and this will also spin around. You then have the back of the thruster, which will then fold itself down as well. Just like that. For the swords themselves, what they're on is just sort of it's quite a simple sort of mechanism. So you just have rotation just here, and then rotation just by the top. So there you go. There you have it like that. Just take off the sword for one of them. And then if you want to attach the effects part, you just slide it in down there and just pop that into the top there, and then you can just press that down, and there you have it with its beam effect parts added. The stickers for this one are really quite bad on the weapons. So on here it's made up of 3 stickers for this. You have one which goes over the top, and then you have one on this section, and then same on the other side. It's not too bad from a distance, but when you start looking up close, it doesn't look too appealing. Weapon also has another gimmick where you can just connect them both together. So it just slots in the 2 holes there, could only go in one way, and there you have a very long sword. And then just to attach this to the Force Gundam, so you just have a small peg inside there, and just fits into the peg here, and it just rests in against the top of the torso. You will start getting a few weight issues with this because it's not the biggest of backpacks, but it does pull it back a bit. It's quite useful. You get a couple different flight stands with a few different options. So just have it equipped with the beam rifle now, and it's just a normal sandwich connection. The ball joint in there does feel a little bit loose when it's pulled out. If you push it all the way in, it tends to holds a little bit more and just feels a little bit more secure. Something you might want to just add a bit of super glue to, just to stiffen up that joint just a little bit. On the front of the rifle you just have white sticker on here, and that's it for this weapon. And then if we go to the shield, so the shield is, I've just got it in its opened form. So you have the adapter here, so you can just attach that on the side of the arm or on the back of the arm, and that just fits in nice and securely on the arm here, just into the slot. So if you want to attach it with one of the beam boomerangs, you just unslot it, so it just leaves a little bit left on there, and then you can then just attach the beam effect part in, and then pop the hand off and take the rifle off. Holds a lot nicer than I thought, these. So there you have with beam boomerang attached. And if you want to hide away the beam rifle that you're no longer using, on the back of the mobile suit there will be a hole on the back of the skirting and a little peg on the rifle, and that will just clip in there, out of the way nicely. Okay, so next one, if you want to see what it's like with the anti-ship swords, you just want to take off the arm again, and with this, really quite annoyed really, because it doesn't quite hold how you would think. So you've just got a round section here, so when you put it in there, there is just nothing holding it. Even when you sandwich in a section here, back of the hand, it will want to spin around all over the place, so and just holds a little bit, but it will drop down a bit after time. You can still get some quite nice poses, and it will do most things that you want it to do. And then you can also take off the other sword and whip that in to have the large double sword. That definitely adds a bit of weight to the there, and it tends to flop around a lot more. So definitely, if you're going to use it like this, I would say just to equip it with both hands. And the one last thing you do also get is a little core fighter. Once again, it's not colour accurate, you don't get any stickers for this either, so if you want to make this look a little bit more like the anime, then you would have to paint it. But it's nice that they include it, and because you get some extra stands, these stands are primarily used for if you want to attach it have the Freedom Gundam matched up with it, but you can just use them for any kit. It's just the same little peg on the top, so there you have with one attached, and you can actually have the Sword Impulse in more of a flying pose with this little peg, because it sticks out at the side. So to show you, that will be at a different angle. But definitely quite nice that you do get the couple stands with this. And there you have it. There's my review for the Sword Impulse P-Bandai exclusive. So overall, the mobile suit itself, really nice kit to build. Not really anything in ways of colour correction. You just have 3 stickers to put on, and you've just got the warning triangles on the top of the knees on both of them, and then just the normal green for the eyes. It does get a little bit worse when you start going to the actual weapons and the backpack with the beam boomerangs. Those, you have to put transfers on those. From a distance, it doesn't look too bad, but when you look up close, you can tell they're stickers, and they don't tend to cover the area as nicely as you would like them to. The same goes with the swords as well. And then you have the last one really to think about is on the top of the rifle, which is just the small white sticker there. Other than that, you don't have any others, unless you're actually going to build the larger sword, where if you build this one up, I would definitely say it's worth painting this one. I don't actually have a high grade Freedom, so I can't really test this out in its pose. I think it will probably look quite nice, and I may actually look to get one just to pull off that pose sometime. This one, quite a few stickers again, all on the armaments there, and then all the way up the edge of the blade on this bit here as well. Thank you for watching this review. I hope to see you next time, where I'll be taking on a real grade, either the real grade Xiong with the last shooting parts, or the real grade Sword Impulse, and if I do, then I'll do a bit of a comparison between the high grade as well. Well, thanks again, and see you next time.